Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Asgardians and mutants alike. Welcome to another Liam Maiden gameplay video. Back with more Marvel Strike Force today. Our first Marvel Strike Force video of 2022. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to be returning today to Doom War, continuing our march through Doom War Chapter 3. Now, if you saw the last Doom War video that I made, I went through the first nodes of Doom War Chapter 3, 1, 2, and 3. I'll post a link in the top right-hand corner to that one. And I'll make sure there's one down below as well. Do check it out if you haven't already. So today we're going to be continuing on that journey. We're going to be doing Doom War Chapter 3, nodes 3, 4, and 5. Now we're limited here to tunes with the Avengers or Fantastic Four tags. So this is the team that I'm going to be using today. So it's basically Secret Avengers, Cap Sam, Sharon Carter, and Maria Hill with the tag-alongs, Hawkeye, and Black Widow. So we're focusing on that Avengers tag. Amazing that the Avengers tag also includes First Wave and, importantly, Secret Avengers, because Cap Sam, Maria Hill, and Sharon Carter have that Secret Avengers tag, so you can use them anywhere in the game where you need that Avengers tag, because it is covered. Now, if you saw the video that I made on Dark Dimension, just a kind of general quick introduction to Dark Dimension, you know that I spoke about this team there. They're an awesome team. I'm using them in DD3, so they're pretty powered up. Let's go take a look at them. So let's do the two regular Avengers first. So we're going to start off with Hawkeye and Black Widow. Now, as I said, they're powered up for DD3. You need characters to be at Gear 14 for DD3, and the minimum level to get characters up to Gear 14 is level 75. So everyone on this team is level 75 and Gear 14. That is going to be way overpowered. You're not going to need that for Doom War, but I do think this is a team right now that I recommend for global on DD3 and DD2 as well, so you might want to power up these tunes for that. ISO 8, I've got Skirmisher on Hawkeye here. I'm using Skirmisher because it gives these, it allows him to apply vulnerable to the enemy and also clear those positive effects. I'm hoping that the AoE that Hawkeye has and just his ability, I'm going to talk a little bit about his ability to do extra attacks, the synergy with Black Widow there, that's going to mean that he's throwing around a lot of vulnerable. Now this squad is skirmisher heavy, as we'll see as we go on. Not necessarily the setup everyone's going to want to use, but I'll explain it in a minute. And then the T4 that I have on Hawkeye, I only have one T4 on him, and it's this passive shot in the dark. It increases damage a little bit, but the important thing here is it gives this gain assist now from an allied Black Widow. So it increases the synergy between Hawkeye and Black Widow. Basically, every time Hawkeye engages in offensive action, he gets an assist from Black Widow. It's 2 for the price of 1. Speaking of Natasha, here she is. She's actually the weakest member on this squad, but obviously still Gear 14. Now, I also have her on Skirmisher for the ISO 8. As I said, this is a skirmisher-heavy squad. It pays off, I think, in Dark Dimension. I think they're going to be so powerful, we're not really going to need that benefit in Doom War, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. So basically, you have Hawkeye and Black Widow dropping as much vulnerable as possible, and then we're going to take advantage of that with one of our other tunes, but their job is really just to spread as much vulnerable as possible. And then I do have one T4 on Black Widow as well. Of course, that's her passive, Saboteur, and this is the counterpoint to Shot in the Dark on Hawkeye. So Hawkeye gains an assist from Black Widow whenever he does an offensive move, and Black Widow gains an assist from Hawkeye whenever she does an offensive move. This also has synergy with Red Guardian and Yelena as well, but we're only going to use it for Hawkeye right now. So I don't necessarily recommend, I don't think you have to use Black Widow and Hawkeye with your Secret Avengers. I think you can use any Avenger or Shield character, although for this it would have to be Avenger. But I do think if you're going to use one, you really want to use the other, and I think you do want those T4s because you're getting 2 for the price of 1 on those attacks. Very powerful in DD3. I think it's going to be awesome in Doom War as well. Moving on to Secret Avengers now. Now, the heart of the Secret Avengers squad is, of course, Captain America Sam himself, Sam Wilson, Captain America. Now, you'll notice here I've only got him on 4 stars. Now, they are 4 red stars, but even at this 4-star level, he is an incredibly powerful toon. Just an awesome, awesome character. He really really is going to be key to us completing these Doom War nodes, just as he's key to using this team in Dark Dimension. And we're going to stop talking about Dark Dimension because that's a different video. Now, once again, you'll notice he is the third and final skirmisher on that ISO. Hoping again with his AoE that he's got, he's going to really spread around some of that vulnerable onto the enemy toon so that we can take advantage of it. And I'll talk about how we'll do that in just 1 second. Now, you'll notice that I have a lot of T4s on Sam. I have everything, in fact, except for his basic attack. His basic, I think the T4 on that really only, let's take a quick look. I think it only gives, yeah, so it just gives you a little bit of extra damage, and he always clears a positive effect. Instead of just being a chance to clear that positive effect, he always gives a positive effect. That's a fine T4. I may add it at some point, but I think the important ones you want are his special, his ultimate, and that passive there. Once you've got those, the other one is just optional, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Next for Secret Avengers, we got Sharon Carter, and we have finally moved away from Skirmisher on our ISO 8. Now, obviously, she's on 6 stars. I think she's actually the most stars that I've got of anyone on the Secret Avengers. Of the Secret Avengers trio, she's got the most stars there, but again, only 4 of them red. So the ISO we're using with her is Striker. So she is going to be the toon. We're setting her up to really take advantage of all that vulnerable. So Sharon Carter, a lot of her attacks, in fact, so her special and her ultimate are both chain attacks. They chain to multiple toons around the primary target, really hoping she can use that ISO to take advantage of the vulnerable that the other 3 toons, Black Widow, Hawkeye, and Captain Sam, are spreading around. She's going to be our main damage dealer, and because of that, you can see that I've got 2 T4s on her special and her ultimate. They're the 2 chaining attacks. She's going to bring the heat. Then finally, of course, rounding out the squad and finishing off the Secret Avengers, we have Maria Hill. Now, Maria Hill, she's the healer of the squad. She's the support and she's the healer. Very, very important in that regard. For that reason, for ISO 8, of course, we have the healer on her, hoping to take advantage of that rather large health pool that she's got there. And I've still not got her maxed start. So even with relatively low stars, she's only on 5 stars, only 4 red, she's still a really potent healer. Now, in terms of the T4s, I have, again, everything except her basic. So Fury's right hand there, this is really so we get that extra, it gives various other bonuses, but really that extra healing, the extra 15% healing to 25% healing, that's on an ally block. She's healing there, so she's really going to be throwing around extra healing. This care package is really very important, though. She's going to remove negative effects from her allies. She's going to get deflect and immunity, and also spread around some healing. That's the main reason we have her on our team, to keep everybody else alive. So there we go. That's the squad. Now, as I said, there's no way you need to take them up to Gear 14 in order to do Chapter 3 of Doom War, but I do think they're worth investing in for Dark Dimension. I had these characters up at this level anyway, so we're going to see how they do, but I think you could probably do this at Gear 11, maybe 12. So there you go right there. So just over 450,000 power on this squad. We're putting Cap Sam in the middle there to try and take advantage of all his deflection. He's going to try and absorb the damage from the enemy team, but again, I really don't know how much of an issue this is going to be, because I think we're going to be super overpowered here. Let's see how we do. All right, so Vulture right off the bat there. Let's get some stealth up, I think, and then boom, right away, boom! Look at that, 2 for 1. 2 for 1. It's so worth it. They're definitely, Hawkeye and Black Widow are definitely the squishiest members of this team, even though they're both a 7-star and no one else is. So I don't necessarily recommend, I talk about this more again in the Dark Dimension video, and in general, when you're building a Secret Avengers squad, they're not necessarily the 2 that I would recommend. I think you do have a lot of other choices. Many other characters have the Avengers tag. Thor maybe is a better choice there, and Hulk perhaps as well. But I think they're fun. I had them up at Gear 14 anyway. I really like the synergy between the 2 of them, and if you can keep them alive, I think they're a potent mix. But really, you can do this with any Avengers character here today. These just happen to be the 2 that I'm using, because I took them up to Gear 14 just because I like them, just for the fun of that synergy with the 2 T4s on them right there. And so you see Maria Hill with her special, she calls in, I was talking over it while I did it, but she calls in all of these shield troopers, and they're just, initially they sort of seem like, well, they're not very powerful because they're just, minion call-ins, but, it adds up. You can have you know, 6 of them on your squad, and they're all returning fire whenever an adjacent character with the shield tag gets hit. Everyone's got the shield tag here. Actually, no, that's not true. Sharon Carter, I don't think, has the shield tag. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But there's lots of people with the shield tag right here, so you're getting a lot of counterattacks from them, and it just all adds up. All this little damage adds up. So we've just cut right through this node here. It's not really been a problem at all. Just got these 2 rhinos to get rid of, and then we are done. Boom. Let's call in some more assists. There we go. Too little, too late, Rhino. Finish him off, Sharon. Boom. There we go. Nicely done. Boom. 3-star victory. Perfect. I think you could have 3-starred that with Gear 11. Obviously, you don't need to 3-star it. This is just a goal that I've set myself to 3-star every single node here in Doom War. I think you could do that one with Gear 11, so no need to overinvest. Going to get a little more energy here. Of course, I shouldn't be spending energy. I should be waiting for the Scarlet Spider event later today. Of course, I have no idea when I'm going to upload this, so maybe that's already started, but it's Friday, January 7th, 2022 here today, and I'm waiting for Scarlet Spider event, so I should be kind of hoarding my energy. Not going to spend any extra here. Spend the minimum so I can start spending that when that event opens later tonight. All right, node 2, let's go. Let's do this. They're not doing anything like enough damage to be of any real concern to us. Nice. Oh, let's see if we can get some ultimate action here. Boom. Look at that. Look, that's what I mean about Sharon being the damage dealer there. She just took 3 tunes down to almost 0 health with her ultimate. That's pretty sweet. Get some blind. Boom. There we go. Boom. Bye-bye, Falcon. Boom. I'm going to save Maria Hill's ultimate until we need it. I don't know that we're going to need it, but it seems like a waste. Seems like a waste to use it when we don't have any debuffs to dispel and no one needs any health. But maybe I'll just end up using it anyway at some point. Oh, dodge from Spider-Man. Again, they're just doing nowhere near enough damage for this to be a threat to us. Boom, bye-bye Spidey. You can take out Corvus Glaive here. He's probably going to stealth though. Boom, there we go. Oh, thank you, Hawkeye. See that automatic? It's worth powering up that passive there. Even if you don't have, you don't need to put the T4 on it, to be fair, to get him to do that. But it's so useful that he can just take people out of stealth. Boom, we've got some vulnerable on the board too. We got quite a lot of vulnerable. The ISO 8 kind of worked this time around. So yeah, that whole plan, trying to throw as much vulnerable on as we can and then take advantage of it with Sharon Carter. I think it worked this time around. We just cut through everyone too quickly last time. Which isn't a bad problem to have. And here we go. Boom. There we go. Node 2 in the bag. Another 3 stars. Perfect. Thank you, Secret Avengers. Love it. Boom. All right. I love it. Moving on to node 3, the final node. Now, this, of course, is the node that you can farm Yellow Jacket on. Now, Yellow Jacket important because you need the PIM team at 7-star in order to 7-star your Doc Ock. They're required for his legendary unlock. I've only got him at 5-star right now because I'm waiting to farm characters like Yellow Jacket, for example, to be able to take them up to 7-star. So even if you're not into PIM Tech, and PIM Tech's a pretty trash turtles team, so you're probably not into PIM Tech, fantastic. You do need to farm all those characters up to 7-star. 4 Doc Ock is a legendary. You want a 7-star, so you are going to need to 3-star this node. You don't necessarily need to 3-star the other ones, but you are going to want to 3-star this one. So it'll be interesting to see how we do. I don't think it's going to be a problem because I think these guys again are way OP, but you are going to want to come up with a squad to 3-star this one. Looks like we're against Doom here, and it seemed, I didn't actually read that introduction there, looked like maybe there was a bit of an operator situation here, but I don't see any operators on the board, so that's good because I'm not a fan of operator levels. But generally speaking, I think we're cutting through this pretty quickly. I think even more quickly than we did the last video where I was just kind of using random teams there. Okay, so he's calling in his Doom bots now. This could get a little hairy. But no, they're not really packing enough of a punch. They're able to damage those shield troopers, but not really able to touch my main squad here. Take out Quake if we can. Boom, there we go. So this is a little trickier. See if we can get a blind there, and we did, but I think he's going to cleanse it. I'm not super familiar with Doom, Dr. Doom, because I haven't completed, I don't have him. You get him through DD Dark Dimension 4, and I'm still on Dark Dimension 3. So I'm not super familiar with his abilities. But I'm pretty sure he can just cleanse that right off, so it's not really going to benefit not really going to get any benefit out of that, I don't think. But I'm going to keep calling in these minions because, as I mentioned, they really do. The punch here really adds up. They pack a punch. Boom, we got a stun. Excellent. Not a stun, a daze, I mean. Oh, then immediately dispelled it. Okay. So this is a little tougher. I mean, he's still not doing any damage, really, to these Gear 14 tunes. Boom, and there we go. Dr. Doom is out of the picture. Okay, and there are some decent tunes here. So we got Bullseye, Taskmaster. There are 2 tunes we want to be wary of, and then of course Shuri there, lurking in the corner. Always got to be wary of Shuri because she's a very powerful healer. We're going to hopefully finish off Taskmaster right here. Boom, there we go. Then maybe switch over to Bullseye. You know what, let's do it. Let's use Maria Hill's ultimate. Boom. Boom, there we go. I love that AoE. And, you know, it gives a ton of help if you need it. We didn't need it, but it was fun to use it anyway. Now we can say we used it. So I can see this one out of all of them would be tougher. Again, we're not going to have any trouble at Gear 14. I was saying Gear 11, I think you could 3-star. Those other ones, you probably want to be up at Gear 12. You know, if you're using Hawkeye and Black Widow, they're a little squishier, so maybe you would want to be up at Gear 13. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below. And there we go. We've done this, guys. Just the thing standing in our way. Not enough of a thing to stop the Secret Avengers. Let's do this. Come on, Sam, can you finish him off? Boom! There we go. The final node in the bag. We 3-starred it against Dr. Doom. That's the final of the nodes we're doing today. The middle 3 nodes of Chapter 3. Nodes 4, 5, and 6 with Secret Avengers. Well, there you go. 3-starred them all. So yeah, to be on the safe side, say if you were going to use this squad, and there's a yellow jacket shard too. Sweet. So to use this squad, I think to be on the safe side, you'd probably want to take them up to Gear 13 to be on the safe side, but you could probably do it with Gear 12. You might just have to do that last one a couple of times. Now the final 3 nodes here, I'll be doing those in the next Do More video. Obviously got to use Hero Tech and Hero Supernatural for those. That's going to be a little tougher. I think we're going to be erring on the side of Hero Tech rather than Hero Supernatural. That's where I think I've got more options there. Pretty sure Shuri's tech, obviously Kestrel's tech. I don't know. I don't really want to use Power Armor. Anyway, that's for another video, so stay tuned for that. Be coming up as soon as I have a team that I think is strong enough to 3-star those final nodes, and then we can move on to Chapter 4 of Doom War, which is the final chapter of Doom War. Really excited for that there. Well, there you go. That is all from me today. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey. Let me know how your Doom Doom War, Marvel Strike Force journey is going in general. Thoughts, comments, criticisms down below, always appreciated. Let me know what tunes you're using for Doom War, especially if you're on Chapter 3, especially if you did these middle 3 nodes already. What team did you use, Avengers or Fantastic Four? Let me know down below in the comments. Can't wait to read it. Well, that is all from me today. If you have enjoyed this video, found it informative or entertaining in any way, please consider giving it a like, a thumbs up down below. It helps out the channel and I really do appreciate it. And hey, why not, while you're here, why not consider subscribing to Liam Maiden Gameplay? I drop new gameplay videos for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and Marvel Strike Force every week, and I would love to have you along for the ride. I hope you've had a great start to the new year. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, look after each other.